I see you, but I don't hear you.
Hello.
Hi. How are
Hi.
you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. How have you been?
I've been busy. We're trying to launch something right now in the midst of the pandemic, which I'm still deciding if that was a good idea or not.
Is that right? Tell me why. Why are you questioning it?
Well, we're trying to launch a 24K mastermind, and sales have just been tough.
Yeah. Well, that is a
Um,
tough one to launch right now.
yeah,
It is, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. It's just the way you make the offer,
yeah,
you
yeah. So we're
know?
working on some things. So I don't know. We'll see where we land with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys, if you have any questions, let me know because I'm, we're, launching high ticket all the time, selling high ticket.
Mhm.
It's just the way it's packaged. Sorry, I just want to make sure this is not. Yeah. Okay. It's charged. It's just the way it's packaged and how you offer it and how you give them security that knowing with the investment that they're making, where it's going, how it's being protected, what you're going to give them, how the type of payment plans they have.
Mhm.
Once people are very clear on the value that's going to be provided and the results that they can get, then making those type of leaps makes sense as long as the offer is packaged up and shared with them in a way that they feel safe,
Mhm.
right? Which is, we've got even clients who say, look, when you invest this much here, just know that if you put this amount down now, we have monthly payments. We are providing you with a gap payment plan. If there is a month where you're saying, I just can't make that full payment, then we're allowing you to make micro payments for that. Adding it to the bottom end of your, of the term. Like there's a lot of things you got to get clever with.
Okay.
And when people see you're making those offers because they need you, then they will say, okay, that makes sense. So I can put this deposit down now, and then next month is when this is due. If next month's payment comes up and you're actually having trouble at that point, because we're contracted, what we'll do at that point is allow you to either make micro payments throughout the month and or take that payment and add it to the back end of your
Mm.
term. If you're not asking for 24K up front, are you?
No, I mean, only if they want to pay in full, but we have a 6 month or a 9 month payment plan for them.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So then you could do it where they can pay through, you get, let's say if you did a 9 month, that's 3 months more into the year, right? Then you can offer them a payment plan that you can extend for 3 of the months. You can
Mhm.
pay half of your payment for that month and add it to the end of the term. So that would
Mm.
be a 12-month. So you're just being clever with the way that you're requesting
Yeah.
funds. And that's when people actually start to feel
Yeah.
safe,
Got
right?
it.
So that's all. I mean, obviously, but a 24K is a bit of a challenge. Smaller things are doing really, really well
Yeah.
because people want to feel their security. So,
Right.
yeah, but I would definitely give just that to a bit of
Okay.
food to thought. I know you're working with someone else, but that's, I've sold high ticket for 15 years, right?
Yeah.
And so there's always moments in times, and the moment
Yeah.
that you give it, they're like, okay, that actually makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. That was super helpful. This
Yeah.
is this is the highest offer I've ever sold, so a
Yeah.
lot of it is definitely new to me, and then especially doing it during this has been an extra challenge. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of rule of thumb during tragic times, right? Most of it is supporting and, brand building, and then
Mhm.
making people feel really supported. I mean,
Yeah.
there's even a point where you could, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ideas that you can make. I'm not sure how you guys are making the offers, but if you want more ideas, we can chat about it because there's ways to get through times that keep people secure.
Yeah, I mean, any other advice you have, I'm all ears.
So how are you making your offer then? What is the down payment? What are you requesting?
I mean, it's basically the payment plan. I'm forgetting the exact numbers. I'm not doing sales as much. I have someone else doing sales for me, so I'm forgetting the numbers at the top of my head. But it's like somewhere around like what is it? Like somewhere around 3K a month, basically.
Yeah, which is high, given if people are not making sales. It is, it's a bit high. I would also yield to, if you're having trouble with someone else making the sales, it's probably because it's not you and they're not feeling safe. Okay, so
Yeah.
I stopped allowing anyone else to make sales for me.
Mm.
I have been the only one who's been doing all my reach outs, all my sales, and all my closes. I've got my assistant who's reaching out and doing them on her own, only people that we had talked to before that were ready to go, that didn't move just because of what took place. And that's because they're safe. So you'll get closes yourself personally. So if sales are important, I would do them yourself right now. And let people know that you care. Because the moment that we throw a salesperson into the loop, they're like, I'm not paying them because they don't really care, especially in high ticket like this. Certainly, sales teams are great and you should have them, but they don't care as much as you do, and they're not going to be the ones working with the client either.
Well, this one will be a little bit. She's actually inside of my program. She's the other coach that works inside of it. So she's been inside my current programs, and she's a part of the delivery for this existing.
Okay, well they do know her. That's great. So you can even do a setup. Which is what we do often, is they're like, you know what, it sounds like you're ready to move, but obviously this is a difficult time. Why don't you talk to Kristin about that?
Yeah. So
it's like, right. So then that's this, we call it the setup, right? Where, and if you're paying her percentages, I pay 10% setup if I close it. So if somebody needs me to close it, then I'll pay them 10% opposed to their normal 30, and that, or their 20. And that way the person feels supported. So, cause you can think on a fly as well and say, look, you know what, I get it. And there's the clients that are uncertain. They know that they need us, but they're uncertain. This is what I'm willing to do. Put this deposit down now. We have a 6 and a 9 month term. And what we'll do is you put the normal deposit down now. And 3 of those months throughout our term, if you feel that you have a bit of difficulty or uncertainty, because we feel it's going to lift in a couple months, then we're opening up 3 months where you can pay half. That way we'll still support you, still get it. And we just add that additional onto the back end of your term.
Okay.
Right? Meaning it can either be added to the complete back end where you just pay the bulk at the very last month of the 9th month, or we're even open to allowing you to extend that throughout the additional 3 months of the year. Because, you know, we have to find ways to get people in your loop. And $1,500 a month is a lot more doable than $3,000, especially if they have offers that are around $3,000 to $5,000 per month, which I'm sure most of your clients only have offers that are about $3,000 to $5,000 per month.
Yeah, right? I think $6,000 is like the most.
Yeah. So if they're on average making only 2 to 3 sales, you're taking over a third of their income, which they're not going to budge. So we have to back up mentally and say, okay, this one has a $3,000 offer. She's only making about 3 of those a month. I can't ask for a third, but what I can do is ask for, 10% or, $1,000 a month or $1,500 a month. We've got to get in the psychology of the way that they are willing to part with their money, because they see they can make that up. So if you can guarantee that just by working with you alone, I will help you make those 2 additional sales so that you support me. See, that's where the selling comes from. It's the understanding where they are. Say, look, this is what we're willing to do. If you put the deposit down now, if you ever have any of those moments where you need to do a partial payment, like a 50%, we'll add that to the term. But this is why I'm sharing this with you on willing, is because you make how many on average? You ask them. They're like, 2 or 3. What's the price point? $3,000. Okay, so you're making about anywhere from $6,000 to $9,000 a month. Okay, I get that. So I can see why $3,000 per month just working with me seems high. But if you think about it, by working with me, if I can share with you that I'm going to help you get 1 to 2 more sales, doesn't make it a lot easier to swallow. Well, certainly, right? So it's about getting that part into their psychology, because then it's logical, right? It's no more emotional. Right now, these people are not making decisions to sell, to give you money emotionally. It's all logical. Whereas a lot of it before used to be emotional.
Yeah.
Because money was available. It's emotional. Right. Okay, you're right. She's going to help me. I like her. No more of that. We've got to be logical sellers, because that's the only reason why people are making decisions anymore.
Yeah.
If you just think about those, every time you go into a sales call with these specific people, know their price point, know how much they're already selling, and know that where their triggers are, right? And then you now can craft the most irresistible offer every time. Because canned offers aren't working anymore.
Yeah.
Right? They just aren't, because you don't have enough people that are willing to listen to the canned offer that we can actually close just because they already saw your pitch and they wanted it. Now it's logical. They got kids, they got expenses,
Right.
and the stimulus package only gave everyone $1,250. So if they've got kids and a husband, they might be getting an extra $3K, right? So you're asking to give that whole month worth of free money they just got. So just get mindful, and that's why our sales haven't stopped, because I'm doing all the selling because I'm so mindful, and salespeople may not be as take the amount of time that you would take to prepare for the sales call.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that helps. And if that triggers for you, send any questions for me later, because this will really help you. And I'll guarantee you'll make at least an additional 2 or 3 of these bigger sales if you do it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. That feels good. Okay. Yeah. We have like 5 or so sales calls booked out right now, and they're pretty much all on my other team members. So I'm not really ready to like rip those from her, but like, I guess I can share with her, some of this stuff and say like, if they need a phone call with me, like, please, let's set that up so they feel that connection.
Yeah, that do just like that. Just say, look, we're starting to realize if things are slow, it's because people are not emotional driven anymore. They're making logical decisions. I want to think differently. I want us to start making our offers in a way that they feel supported. And why don't we do this? If you're starting to feel that they are not, sure they're not moving, use maybe you should just have a quick chat with Kristin.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this a bit. And I think she's, she can probably help you navigate this a little bit easier. Boom. It's like they now they got a gap, so they don't feel sold, right? Whenever someone gets a call and they feel like, oh no, I'm not doing this, and they feel pressured and sold, they already back out, so they're not even listening to the good offer. But she says, you know what? Why don't we have a call with Kristin, so that she just got a breathing space, right? So she's now thinking, because if we don't give them the thinking moment that allows them to go, God, that actually makes sense, they're just going to turn them down, right?
Right.
But if we give them that moment, say, you know what, I just talked with Kristin about this. I think she's got some things that she's doing with some other clients to help navigate. And why don't we set up a call? Okay, great. And then they're like, phew, right? Now they download, they logically start making already judgment decisions. And then you come in with, okay, she said that she's talked with you, but this is where I'm feeling. Are you feeling the gap because of the income, and you're fearful that your income may not be continuing? I get it. Everyone's feeling that way. So this is some things that we're doing for our clients to help them stay in the conversation, stay supported, and allow us to help you make those sales. And then you ask them the question, okay, so how many right now are you making? What is the price point again? Okay, so how has that dropped? Okay, it's dropped all the way. Now that's where the fears come from, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a reason why we need to stay working together, because our sales haven't stopped. We've just done it differently, right? So you got the answers to her problem again. It's not the same answers anymore. You can't solve their problems the same way anymore.
Right.
They're totally different, right? They need new ways to sell and new ways to communicate with the audience in a way that they know that you can help them.
Right.
Right? So the marketing conversation no longer is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then now you're like the one that they feel can really get them.
Yeah. Okay. Love it.
So that could be a good one. Then if she hands them off to you, now you're the one that's supporting them.
Okay. And is that after she makes the offer and tells them the price point and everything?
Yeah, I would have her do all the front work, and if they're like, oh no, I'm really not sure, say, what's holding you, what's holding you back? Is it the investment at this point? Yeah, I mean, goodness, look what we're going through. You know what, we totally get it. So then she says, why don't we have a call with Kristin, because she's making some adjustments to help our clients navigate, to stay in the conversation, yet help this a bit easier for you. Would you like to have a call with Kristin? Yeah, definitely. Okay, great. Let's book you in now. I know she's open on Thursday, and I'll make sure that she knows what you're going through and where you're at. Now you take over, right? And then make that close.
Okay.
You can listen to this one over again too, because I think this will really help you be confident with helping them, because you are supporting them now, and they're feeling sold, and they don't want to feel sold right now at all.
Yeah.
They just want to know logically it makes sense. She's working a logical deal for me, and I actually need it, because marketing's changed. We cannot talk to them anymore the same way. So now you become their knight in shining armor. They can't go back without you and do the same what they were doing before. Now you're going to help them navigate through psychological thinking of what their clients need now, just like you're doing for them.
Right.
you know, because if you get to the call with them and you say, look, even just what I'm doing with you now, this is something I will help you with your clients, because we can't sell the same way anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go, oh, ding, ding, ding. Then light bulbs go off like, oh my gosh, she's right. She's actually doing something different.
Right.
Right. The learn, do, teach method is, you know, obviously so tried and true. And that's why people even now, right, they're seeing everything that even, you know, that we're doing, they're like, oh my gosh, you're doing it. I see the difference in what you were doing before. And that's, yeah, let me show you, let's do this, let's do this. You know, that's why PR has taken such a massive front face, because no one's thinking about right now so much building a new brand. I mean, they're kind of getting there, but they're like, now the elevated entrepreneurs that are like, I'm not spending as much on advertising, but I know I need to invest in credibility.
Mm-hmm.
It's like moving. So it's just a different way that we focus our energy.
Yeah, totally. I love that. Yeah, if you can,
Okay.
if you guys can send me this recording, I'll record part of this actually and probably send that to her. It'd probably be easiest for her just to hear you talk through that.
Fantastic. Of course, absolutely. And again, if there's any questions that come up, feel free to put us in a group together, and I can even vocalize it with you guys so you get it direct, because this is a sales process that really works, especially now. I've been through these. I was in the 07, 08 difficult times when everyone didn't have a dime, and we went from zero to literally building $1 million in the first 24 months through the worst times of the planet. Yeah. So these things are
amazing.
Okay, so let's get focused more then on what else is going on with you. And your membership site looks amazing.
Oh my gosh, it's so amazing.
Really,
so good.
So good. Yeah, now are you doing that? Is that just a part of the program, or are you also selling that as an individual course too?
So what I'm going to do is the foundations course. So that's going to turn into, right now it's a 4-week course, and it's going to turn into a 6-week course. I think I talked to you guys about moving 2 modules from 6-figure formula.
I think Star's already on that. She was on that last night. So
cool. Cool. So where I'm at with that is, you know, one thing I realized is that the video trainings that I have in those modules are super long. Like they're like 90 minutes, 2 hours.
Yeah.
So what I've been doing is kind of going through them and breaking them into like 20 to 30-minute clips to make it easier to digest. Because if I think about joining a course and then I enroll and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's like a bunch of 2-hour videos, like I'm not going to do it. So I want people to go through and get results, obviously. So I've been kind of working on editing some of those. So that is one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is like how you guys may be able to help me with that, with kind of updating rather than just
one thing to think about. I want you to think about something first. The rule of thumb in any membership site, really now especially, is 8 to 12 minutes. Like trying to do your best to tighten up, like make a module itself, and you can do the full module. It could be longer, but then taking very important micro bits of pieces, like that are 8, maximum 15, that allow someone that they can create a result at that point. You know, certainly our team can edit anything and help you with that, but that is really where it comes down to, is that if you go much longer, is 30 minutes can become a challenge for even keeping anyone's attention. Right? Yeah. 20 is our max on attention, and that's for, you know, the average human being.
Yeah.
So 8 to 12, like, gets them going, okay, this is exactly what I need to learn right now, and I can implement it immediately. Is that possible to break any of those up into that small?
Yeah, some of them are shorter, like around 15 minutes.
Okay, that's good.
But yeah, some are 8, 15, 12, 16. A lot of them are. Some are around 30 minutes, but I could definitely break those in half. I think part of what I could do is like, so a lot of my trainings are like I love to do like in action stuff. So it's like, okay, we just learned something, now go and like write this out right now. So I do, because I delivered these trainings live, it's basically like just like a lot of silence while the people live were doing it.
All right.
What I'm thinking is maybe I could just edit that out.
So you want to edit that?
Yeah, just say like, you know, press pause and write this out or whatever. Maybe something like that.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way of doing it, where it gets to the point where they need to do something, and then the film itself can say, press pause now and come back to the next video, or start again. So that's actually quite simple to do, and that's a good way for not having to redo them.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it would take too much time for me to have to redo all of those, but the editing piece is
Yeah.
pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, so like none of the slides, none of the deliverables, none of that's changing at all. It's just simply the videos and just chopping them up some more. So what I was thinking I could do is once all of that is done, maybe I could just like put that all like in a Google Doc with like all the YouTube links, just so it's like super clear. So hopefully that's easier for you guys to implement if that's something you can help me with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll take a look at that scope. I mean, that's the work that we like this year's work. I mean, video editing is totally different because it's obviously takes a lot more time. But I can look at what the needs are, and if they're simple, it's not a big thing. But if they become something that's, you know, becomes a lot more time, then that's where we're just having to just, you know, be aware of where we are now. And, you know, that's why we had that conversation about the complete rebrand. We can totally do everything and anything. I can even, you know, move some of the, like the funds that we had saved for the Get Booked program, right? Some of that can be applied to this. I've just got to navigate because the Get Booked program is a complete, right, different process that has to be paid to the other teams. So we have to save funding for that. And and quite honestly, I'm not quite sure then you might want to leverage some of those funds to do some of the things that we've got, just because, you know, like it may not be the right time to do those type of reach outs. And with the offer that you've got, maybe a harder direct line. Remember we had said this is really going to be for like B2B, where you go directly to those that do have, the offer's got to work properly, I guess I could say, to a LinkedIn person. So we can either restructure the way we offer it and use that, or we leverage those funds and do the rebrand, and we do, you know, that we do the editing. I mean, that's just a way that I can manage time for that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention, because I was feeling like after you explained a little bit more about the Get Booked and then it was more B2B and stuff, it didn't feel like it was a fit for what I have going on right now.
Yeah.
That feels good to me to just read that way.
I think that's a good move. And some of the others had done that as well because they just really wanted to keep their offers. They needed to keep their offers B2B or B2C. And and we tried, and we did a whole month worth. It was like, it's hard to get a higher ticket offer to an individual when they're not, like they're just trying to get the marketing side, so that we had to shift the offers. So instead, we just did the same thing. We got one of them in an article. We did, you know, other things that apply to them a little bit better. So that could probably work, where we just we set up the rebrand, we get all of that stuff done then, and then we can do some of these video edits as well. And then I'll look at the hours, but we're probably going to be pretty right on point with that. So then that doesn't, you know, come out of your pocket. You know? Just moving on as what.
Cool. Yeah, that feels good. And then for the video editing piece, so I mean, I'm doing all the video editing, but it's more so, are you referring to like, you know, editing what's in the modules to put in the new videos? Is that what you mean when you say video editing?
Well, what it sounded like that you needed is that we could take, if you said, okay, this is the video at minute 16, stop or cut it and put, please pause. Like we can put a black screen that says, pause here until you come back. And then it can either be a split video or they just play it again and we edit out the gapping pieces. So you can say, cut out this to this, right? And say pause, like whatever instructions that you might have, you could do. If there's something that's more defined editing, just let me know what that might be and I can try to figure out what you're.
Got it. Okay. I was actually planning on just doing the video editing myself. I really don't mind doing that. I mean, it's tedious. But I feel like if I was to go through and say like, you know, do this time to this time, I might as well just be doing the cuts myself. So it's probably easier, and it would, you know, save some bandwidth for you guys so that we can save that for even more.
Yeah, I mean, if you know how to do it, for sure. I mean, that's usually most people just don't know how to do it, and they, you know, they get super hung up on it.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. So I can totally do that. It'll just be a matter of me saying, okay, rather than like this one video, it's going to be like these like 4 videos for this module, and then
I see what you're saying. And just we add them into the membership site differently.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and if you need help with it, just let us know. I mean, if that part of the team, we have an editing team, so they're faster. It's just time, right? But if you, you know, if you do it, that's easy. And then you could say, like, let's say under one module, it's module 1, but then either lesson 2, 3, and 4, right? Or it's each video or is in like there's 3 different videos under one lesson. Just that would be the instruction we need.
Right. Yep. Exactly. So okay, cool. So I'm planning on finishing up that editing hopefully in the next week or so for the foundations course. So I can just send you guys like one Google Doc with like all the YouTube links and like the lessons and stuff. So it's just like basically copy and paste or embed or whatever.
Yeah,
and then
much easier that way.
What was that?
Yeah, much easier that way.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then for my 6-figure formula course, I realized that one piece of feedback that I got from members who went through this go around with it was that it was a lot of information. So one thing I'm going to do is probably take out some of the content to make it a bit more streamlined, because people were coming to the point where they were like, I'm not, going to continue re-enrolling with you because I have so much information and I just need time to like catch up and implement.
Yeah.
And I was like, crap, I gave them too much. So
yeah. Hold on one second. I've got to let my dog out because she's barking and it's like she's doing this crazy. Go outside. Go. Come on. Silly girl. Come on. Go outside. Go. Okay. So annoying when the dogs are in the room and then they start barking and you can't get them to stop. Okay, so you fire hose them.
Yeah, kind of. I did that, unfortunately, which I wasn't practicing what I preach, because I tell my clients not to do that, and then I did it.
Yeah. So then what do you need to do then? Do you think the solution is?
I think I'm just going to go back through all the modules and just kind of think through like what is necessary for them in this program and what is not, what is something maybe I could take out and save for like another course or something.
And is that just like that the foundations, the course only, or is that?
That'll be for 6-figure formula, that it was too much.
Okay, so that's for the 6-figure formula. And how long is that for?
That's a 90-day program, so 3 months.
Right. Okay. So they felt as if there was so much that they had to accomplish and go through in order to. Yeah. Right. Are you running them through that modular, or are they kind of going it at a own pace?
Well, I delivered the content live. So it was like every week they got a new training.
Okay. So each week, so you did 12 weeks. So they basically have 12 actionable videos and things that they need to do each and every week. Yeah. I can see how that could be troublesome, because when they're trying to really apply it, there's a lot more that needs to be done. And on a weekly basis, sometimes that's where the troubles can lie. Right. So even if you did, they probably would have more time getting things done if you did it every other week. But at this point, it's already recorded, right? So now it's just a course. Are you still doing it 90 days?
I mean, it's still going to be 90 days. I mean, they get like unlimited access to the membership site. But when they join the program, they get 12 weeks of live call support, and it's going to be office hours going forward. So rather than me trying to train them live, they're going to just go through modules on their own, and then they hop on a call for questions.
Right, which is a lot easier to do. You could be just not giving them enough time to implement. Yeah. Right? So even if you did, it still could be 90 days, but you could literally do an every other week call that gives you 2 weeks to implement, and then you just do a nudge. The week after is like, this is what you should be working on. Right? So that you're not necessarily taking content out as much to get done. So because what happens when we go into live calls with people weekly is we want to give them as much as possible, because we want them to feel like we're valued, their time is being valued, we're giving them everything. And then we go so far, and then they're like, I'm still finishing that one, right? Whereas if they were just in the course and following, they would probably get a lot more done because they would digest it faster. Live, we're just so hard, and they're trying to download it, and their brain isn't actually allowing them to download it. So that could be a small adjustment you could even do. To say, look, it's 3 months long, but we connect together every other week. And then in the gap week, I just give you instructions to make sure you're on track. Yeah. And it's easier for you too. You're only doing 6 calls then.
Right. I like that.
Yeah. And then that way you're not shortening up the course. You're just re-guiding attention.
Right. I like it. Yeah, and there's a Facebook group if they have questions in between too.
Yeah, exactly. That's even better, because then they can get just what they need, not more than what they need.
Right. Okay, I like that. That feels good.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. All right, so I'll keep you guys up with editing and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Let us know anything else is going on. I know Star today, she's going to finalize and deliver everything that she was working on. I think most everything was moved over. I know yesterday, that was the report I got on Monday. It was that everything she's moving over for you is being accomplished and done. There's sometimes a little tricky part of getting that copied over. So anything else then you got that you're working on moving forward?
No, I think at this point it's just the, planning for the rebrand. So we could talk about that.
Yep. Yeah. So then what I would do is just, we can either make a list or you can, select the specific things that you really wanted to do. And when I say that it doesn't mean we're completely designing, right? We're editing the logo exchange.
Yeah.
And if there's some additional things that we need that cannot be adjusted based on the way they're designed, then obviously we'll look at the detail of it, but we should just be able to take and place the new logos on and, the new edits. So why don't we pick the specific things as they come along instead of like, I want everything done now. Like, let's say, let's prioritize it. So that way it gives the team time that they can work on your stuff and deliver it back and forth. And we have, so other client work as well. And then that way you're getting what you need and then we're getting through everything as well.
Right. Yeah. I just wrote out a quick list. So it's probably, and I can send this over to you guys, but it's probably, like the Facebook banners, just it's literally just gonna be replacing the logos, like nothing else about anything needs to change.
Yeah.
So
your slide deck, right?
What's that?
Your slide deck?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just walked through. Yeah. Okay.
So the slide deck. So the Facebook banners, and then I'll also want to add the Inc. logo onto that. We have Forbes, so.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. By the way, how are you leveraging the articles? How is that? Have you leveraged them any differently? Because
not really. To be honest, nothing's really come of it so far. I mean, I've posted about them. Both of those images, those cover images that you guys created, they're both on my Facebook profile now as 2 featured images side by side. I've used them in like guest webinar presentations that I've been on, kind of in like an intro slide. One of them is in the signature of my email, as you guys had suggested, but I haven't done anything else yet.
Like using.
So nothing is really.
The best way to do it now is that you're using them correctly now. We obviously do a marketing plan with them, or setting traffic, and then we're following through with offers. But we are also utilize that for when you're pitching to be on podcasts and other things such as that. I mean, I would really get, especially right now, on a really good, strong podcast pitch, where you're reaching out to some higher profile podcasts, because that's where right now of all times, this is where third-party validation and content is needed. This is where people are making decisions, right? They're no longer listening to what we have to say. They're listening to what others have to say about us. And that's not just testimonials, because testimonials can become contrived. And I think people are getting used to that. So using these type of publications is going to allow you to get the offer more than anyone. I'm going to give you actually a link to get on some really strong podcasts. We have a network. There's 1 million downloads every month. And I will give you the link to book with them. They're they're holistic, they're spiritual, they're very connected to overall, wellness. So they would be a really great connection for you. And this is when you say, you do the reach out. We have an instant agreement with them. My clients get booked, but it's still important to say and all of your introductions, I've been featured in Forbes and Inc. magazine. My work has been, covered here. This is what I do. This is who I work with, so that you're leading with that.
Okay, cool.
And this will also help you, of course, in the future, if you're doing any type of joint ventures with, others, and you'd like to do a joint venture with others, saying, look, my course is this. My work has been featured here. Are you open? And then, of course, you're going to get a lot higher level of a yes than anyone else. And if you do decide that you want to start list building and building with Facebook ads or ads, just paid traffic, that's one of the best ways. We go heavy on the article. They see the article. They've seen you there. Then we follow through with another content valued video, and then the offers come through. Which like one of our clients right now, Jody, she is a private lender, and we are doing Facebook ads with her videos and her articles, and they're going directly to, do you want to learn how to, invest your money and be a, either a private lender or leverage private lending for real estate. It's book here now and get on a call. It's immediate booking of a call. I think she's closed like 18 grand in the last 2 weeks in the worst time, but it's just because they're seeing her as the authority, right? Mm-hmm. They know right now they need something. This is the solution they need. And we're sending them directly to just booking a call. She's getting and closing them. So, and she's selling $3,500 offers from the phone, just a one cold lead. So there's definitely ways and reasons behind using paid marketing, if that could be, something that you want to move into to get more credibility opposed to these just, face-off offers. Because even it'll help the people that you're currently with also. Right? Yeah. The ones that you're currently they're seeing you making decisions, all of a sudden, if your stuff is pushed heavily in front of them, they're like, oh, wait a minute. Okay. She's actually a lot more important than I think. Right. And I need to go back there, or that this is the right decision. So subconsciously we're helping them make decisions based on credibility.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I definitely want to get into Facebook ads soon. I don't know how to do them myself, but if that's something you guys can help me with or guide me through.
Sure. I think that it was something I'd mentioned before. Our partner, Kim, we're even running a program just for the articles, like for the articles into the offers, because it's what's working right now, right? Mm-hmm. The article program is working like magic. Okay. And so maybe we can book a call where I get on the call with you with Kim and we talk about the plan and what we're doing. Because we're running a special, I think it's a 2-month program, especially now because Australia's dollar has dropped drastically. So we're getting them a lot cheaper. Right. So they used to be $5,000 a month, but it ends up now being $5,000, but you're getting them for like 3 months because it's, for them, we're getting a lot more. I think it's like 60 cents to the dollar.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Right. So their price point's a lot lower. But I'll give you exactly what the program is, and we can have a chat with Kim about it. Okay. But yeah, that's exactly how we're doing it right now for all of our clients, and it's cheap. Ads are really inexpensive right now, like really inexpensive, because there's so much inventory and there's a lot more eyeballs on the marketplace.
Right, because probably a lot of people pull back their ads.
Well, most, yeah, exactly. We're getting like 1 cent clicks. It's crazy. Wow. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. So it's using the articles, getting them in front of you, then using a value video, and then sending them your offer, or just to book a call with you, because we now know the psychology of what these people are making decisions on, right? Mm-hmm. They need to, especially your coaches, they need to make, they need to make sound moves for their future of their business. Mm-hmm. And you could be the solution. So we probably should do that. I'll chat with Kim, and I can put us in a group together, and then we can just jump on a call and we can, see how we can make that work for you, because that's what's working.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That sounds good.
Okay, cool. Awesome, Madeir. All right, so I'll get Larcy to send this with recording to you. If you could then just work on a list of things that you want to start the rebrand. Yeah. And, then especially if there's videos, etc., then we'll start moving in that direction as well.
Okay. I had one more quick question. Do you have a minute, or do you have to go?
Sure. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm good. Larcy, am I good right now? I don't have a call until when? 10?
10, that's right.
Okay, perfect.
Cool. So when it comes to like setting up different like freebies or, other things that I need like landing pages for, do you guys have like templates, or like because I feel kind of still foreign to my ClickFunnels account, and, I don't know how to use it. And I'm also recognizing that like, I'm going to need a landing page for my foundations course, a landing page for 6-figure formula. I still want to do the website, like all those things, and probably get some like freebies. So I'm going to see if my copywriter who I have on board, if she can like help me to write a lot of that content. But then I kind of wanted to talk about how we could then implement some of those. And then also if there's like a repeatable framework or template that you guys have for like high converting, like freebie pages, like landing pages that we could put ads to or something, so that I could start to think about that.
Yeah, we've already made a freebie ebook for you, right? Did we do already
I don't have no.
a lead? Okay, so you don't have a lead magnet funnel yet. Like, yeah. So if you once you get that, those are pretty easy to duplicate, right? So then once you have the framework, then they're cloned, and you just get a new graphic made for the ebook,
Okay.
and that's just kind of those are easier to clone for freebies and giveaways, etc. The consultation funnel and the initial audit as well, those are really duplicatable funnels. Like they're made in a way that can be duplicatable, and you just put the button goes to a different offer, right? So I guess just depending on what it's specifically that you're doing, what your needs are, we can look at what templates could be leveraged and used as well.
All right, that sounds good. Yeah, I don't have any immediate plans for that. I still need to do some brainstorming around that, but I was just thinking like, what was the way to kind of start to think about using those?
Yeah, because we want to look at the sales process that you've got and what your needs would be, especially if you're running ads. That's like, if you start running ads, we have to look at what is the sales process for the ads as well. It's like, is the objective lead generation, or is the objective, getting people on the phone for conversions?
Yeah.
So it's never good to start making stuff unless you have a really strong objective of how you want to leverage it, how you want to use it, and what your sales process is. So we can talk about that. If you want to run ads, then we really do a very direct line, and then we don't need as much design or development, but we do a direct line for them. And then of course the giveaways are great, because then it's a lead generation into either a call or a conversion. So there's just different things we want to look at where you are in your sales process.
Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, because I think I want to have like one funnel where it's like, they opt in to get some sort of like, 30 to 45 minute webinar, and then they have the option to like book in with us, but then maybe also like a more top of funnel where it's like they're just getting on the list, and then, I nurture them for a while. So maybe like meeting like the different stages of the funnel that they're in and having offers for that.
Yeah, doing a lead generation top of funnel would be like a giveaway, getting them in, just giving the giveaway, and then you're nurturing them with an email sequence. Or even on the thank you could be you saying, leading them into a masterclass, right? So those are really great top of funnel into just more value base that you just keep, connecting, communicating with them. I think that's how we actually started the initial funnel for you, which was your audit, which moved them also then and led them into a masterclass. So you have a lot of the components already there. It's just how you want to use them.
Right. Yeah. Continuing to piece it all together. It's, as you guys know, because you've been here since ground zero, this business has just been, running quickly. So I'm just trying to keep on top of it.
It's true, and I see it, and that's what happens. All of a sudden, we start making. We've got all the pieces, and then we go, then the puzzle actually starts to come together. And I think you're getting to that point too. So we can start like piecing those things together.
Yeah, I'm excited. So okay, cool.
Yeah, good. Post it on. Yes, and the sales stuff. Keep me posted on that, so we can kind of help you move forward. Because I'm confident that just that little adjustment will help people feel a lot easier, because you're making it easier for them to make a decision live.
Perfect. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, if you guys can let me know where the recording is when it's ready.
Larcy will drop it to you, or put it into your spreadsheet as well.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right. Thanks so much.
Have a great one, love. Cheers.
Bye, Rhonda.